All right, what's up, everybody? Another episode of Texas Aggies United, sponsored by the 12th Man Foundation on TexAgs. I'm Ryan Broniger. He's Billy Lucci, and this man to our left is coming back. He's back, man. Hayden Schott just announces that his intentions to return to college baseball and return to College Station for another year of eligibility. Schott, first of all, man, I think everybody's going to want to know just kind of what the last week has been like for you. It's just kind of cycling through everything.
It was exactly that. Felt like a new story was coming out every 2 minutes. And I think I've spent more time on Twitter, and my screen time is larger than it's ever been in my life, which is so bad. I need like a 3-day reset, like some Aaron Rodgers type stuff. But it was extremely busy and extremely just stressful at times. But I don't know. It makes it all worth it when a guy like Mike figures it out and gets the job. So it makes me so happy. Super proud.
Yeah, I can't imagine the gamut of emotions you've run from, I don't know, that World Series run, which we'll talk about in a second, but just in the last few days. But let's just start with Mike early. I mean, because you and I had conversations about it. You guys were emotional about that. How much you believed in it and how badly you guys wanted it. Hayden, did you think it was just kind of a shot in the dark, long shot, and then as it kept going, you started to go, oh man, this could be? Did you ever allow yourself to get your hopes up, or from day one were you like, they're going to end up high?
Right.
What were your thoughts?
No, I didn't let myself get my hopes up. I knew, because if I did let myself get my hopes up and it didn't happen, I'd be absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
So I really tried to stay extremely just kind of objective at the time and just let what happened, and try to not be biased towards it, which helped my emotions stay somewhat calm, which made also, when it did happen, so much better, because I was just like, I didn't know. And so to see like that post go out, I told Mike, I immediately thought just like his family and Lisa and his kids and how awesome they are too. So it was so dang cool. I feel super happy for him.
When did you hear? Were you with Jace? Were you all on your way back?
He was asleep.
No, I was. Oh, actually, I was asleep.
Oh,
when
it was early. You're right.
But that's fair. The news came out at like 8 a.m. or something. Like, dude, I'm not waking up till 11. We're out of season. Like, there's no reason I'm ever going to be awake before 10:30 a.m.
That's true.
There's just no point at all. But yeah, and then I found out, and I was with Jace, and I mean, obviously, me and him love Mike to death, so we give each other a hug, and we're extremely proud. It's pretty sweet.
I kept saying, Bronny, you and I've talked, and I said, it's not who was pushing, like, all you guys. It's not the who. I kept saying it's the why. Like, if you're Trev Alberts, if you're wondering, what it is about Mike early, it's not y'all individually or even it's the why are you guys doing it that the people needed to ask themselves. So my question to you is, like, what is it about Coach Early that had you guys this passionate about even the possibility, however remote you thought it was when it started, but just to say, man, if this guy could be our coach?
Oh man, there's a ton of words that come to mind, but I would say the love for the people he coaches, which seems cliche and corny, but it truly is. And you never really see Mike take credit for other people's success that he definitely has a hand in. He always is focused on the people and letting them get the spotlight, and that's what makes everything about him so awesome. And then don't let that get twisted with the fact that he's one of the more competitive people I know. He's very similar to me in the sense that, like, we have a lot of love and a lot of care for people, but when it's game time, we want nothing more than to win. And that's what makes Mike such a great coach, is that he can turn that switch off and on really, really well. And I think that's what makes us love him.
Well, specifically, the baseball side of it, what did he help you do? You had a hugely successful year coming from an Ivy. There's always questions when these small school guys come to an SEC club.
Small school, Bronny.
Small baseball
I
program.
applied to Columbia. That was my runner-up.
They have two.
Texas.
They have two gold stars on their ledger. They let him in. They didn't let you in.
That's true.
Right? So
plus.
Two thumbs up for Columbia. But
they
what did Mike do for you on the baseball, like specifically with your swing in the box, that helped you have the success this year?
Once again, the list goes on. Truly, the beauty about Mike, and I think the first interview we talked about Mike, and I talked about how he makes extremely complicated things really simple, and that's what makes, as a player trying to learn, it makes learning so much easier. And I think that's the beauty of it. I mean, you have, whether it was me having my hands too low at one point, whether it was how I was loading, kind of just pitch recognition, stuff like that. The list goes on, but the overarching theme is just how simple he makes it to grasp. And I think that's where you see all the success, especially with a guy like Jace, who's a cage rat. He loves to be in the cage, and he can sometimes overswing himself. Mike does a great job at keeping everything simple and easy to understand. So that's probably
those who hit often.
Hit often, baby. Or those who don't hit often do not hit often. It's very relative. Everything's relative. It's extremely relative.
I'm glad you mentioned that and just kind of his approach with y'all. Can you speak to and I've been trying to give this guy as much love as possible. Over the last week, it's been highlighted, but over the last 20 years, what Jason Hutchins has meant to that baseball program. Can you speak to Hutch as a guy and just kind of what he's meant for this team when you've been here, and then what he could mean for the program going forward?
Well, I mean, I've only been here for a year, so if I feel the way I do about Hutch, man, over a year, I cannot even imagine people who have him for 4 years or who've been here for 20 years. Just the impact of a dude he is, as it's kind of like a father figure around the team, truly, just because of how long he's been here, how much he cares for the program. You hear it when you talk to him, you see it with the work he does. He's such a great dude, and once again, great family. I mean, I love his kids, I love his wife. So he's just such an A&M Aggie, man. He wants nothing more than success for the school in general, and obviously the baseball team too. So I love the dude with my whole heart. Great guy.
Have you? I know what the answer is going to be, but maybe it's not. Have you had enough time? I know when we talked like the night you guys ended your season, right? And you were obviously, I mean, there's a picture that just, I still see it. I want to hang it up.
Yeah, it breaks my heart.
I want to, I know it does, but at the same time, I want that in my office, in with all my like A&M memories.
Yeah.
That's how special that run was. That's how special that team was. Like, I want the picture of y'all when it ended. I don't care. Like, it was, that moment was like all of us right then, right?
100%. Yeah.
Have you had time at all, and maybe you haven't because of the coaching change, have you had time at all to kind of go back and go, okay, now I'm looking back on it and I'm realizing how freaking epically cool that whole thing was, and what we did, the ride we took these fans along with us on?
You know, like, yes, I want to say I feel like it's going to sink in a lot more in the coming month. I feel like now that everything's settled down a little bit, I feel like I'll appreciate it more. But 100%. But I think the beauty of our team is we never really took it for granted. So when everyone says that, they're like, hey, have you taken time to appreciate it? I'm like, we appreciated it every day just showing up, man. I mean, it truly was a gift, and we knew it. I mean, if you asked us the day one to the last day, it was the same thing. We just loved showing up and competing for everyone around us and that band of brothers. And I think that's why when people ask that, we're like, yes, for sure. But we've been doing that the whole ride. We've appreciated it every single day.
I know he told me right before they left, like you said, like, I think we're going to win this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're obviously 8 teams go there to win it. But what you said was like, I really believe we're going to win it. Like, I'm just fully convinced we're going to win it. And that I think they brought the fans with them on that. I think everybody that went to Omaha was just like, we knew something special was going to happen there, and it did. It did.
Yeah.
You know, the only difference was, one team wins and that's it. But it was special. It was pretty epic, and and you want more of it.
Oh yeah,
that's what.
You kidding me?
That's why we're here today. So what a cool announcement.
Yeah,
you're not changing your song, are you? I mean, that's.
Can't change my song. I feel like, I don't know, man. Some people are probably so annoyed at it, but I have to keep it. It brought too much success. Not for me,
it was a talking point in Omaha in the press box. Like, it really was.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, every time I heard, I'm like, wow, way too many people are hearing this. They probably think really oddly of me right now. But
did you notice the organist started playing?
I did, and I at one point was like, dude, he's ruining George Michael's. You can't do Carol's Whisper on there, man. Only George can do that. Come on.
How do you feel?
The George Michael documentary, by the way?
Yeah.
Pretty strong.
How do you feel? How's your knee? What's the update there?
I feel pretty similar, honestly. Get surgery here in next week or two, and hopefully use our great trainers and PT people here and get back as quick as possible.
Do they have a timeline on that?
So it kind of depends. When they go in, they'll have a better idea because it's depending on what they're going to actually do to my meniscus. So it could be 2 months. It could be 4 or 5. We're hoping for obviously the 2, but it'll probably be somewhere in that 4-month range.
A lot of new coaches coming in, but there is some familiar faces. Will Fox, a young guy. has made a super big impression in the baseball circles in terms of like his feel for the game, his feel for the players. To me, it seems like him and Mike, the synergy between those two is really good. Can you describe to people that may have not understood what Will Fox has meant to the program publicly, like privately, can you describe what he's meant publicly?
I think he's just an underappreciated guy as far as the public, the people who don't know, maybe don't know our team that well. You said it. I mean, he's got great feel for the game, but even better feel for the people around him. I think that's what makes him such a likable dude. And then also, people don't give him enough credit for him as a coach. He's a really, really intelligent baseball mind as far as infield and hitting goes. He knows a ton about the game, I think well beyond his years. And I think anyone who's under him knows it right away. I mean, within like a first couple of days, you see this super fun, awesome, charismatic dude, but then you get him on the field and you're like, dang, this dude really, really knows his stuff, for sure.
Yeah, and there's going to be some kind of transition. Again, it's a new team, but now a new staff. You coming back, we know what you meant for last year's team and clubhouse and dugout. You did that organically, right? Is it we're going to go and do this again? But now is there like, hey, we're running this thing back with the guy that we really wanted to run it back with as the head man? Is there some onus on you now to like kind of get this ball rolling back in that direction?
I mean, yeah, I think I'd be lying if I said no, for sure. I mean, especially with the Mike hire, it just makes you want to do it for him and the team even more, and the 12th man and how supportive they've been, and everyone around the team. But I think there's definitely a little bit of like fire, kind of saying, hey, we had a great year and we want to do it again. We don't want it to just be, all right, like A&M now is top upper echelon of college baseball, and that's good enough. We want to keep it going. Dude, especially for a guy like me. I want this to keep going for the next 40 years. I want to be a fan forever.
Well, you guys, and you were one run away. Yeah, like it's like as close as you could possibly be to winning this thing. And Billy mentioned hanging that picture up in his office. Like that's something you can look at. And there's going to be, I know how it goes, man. There's some days in September and October where you're up at earlier than you would like to be up.
100%.
In the weight room and doing the conditioning. And I think that photo you can look at and go, no, like let's rock, man. Like I'm not too tired to do this today.
Yeah, 100%. That I think having that, because that picture that you're talking about of me and Jason, yeah, like there's so much emotion behind that, so much just like a little sigh of like, holy crap, that was a long season. But that emotion you sometimes forget in the fall, and so you're exactly right. I think it's important, especially when you've been there, to remind yourself of that for sure.
This, we're all baseball right now, for obvious reasons, and right before, not before it started, but right before that kind of that postseason run started, maybe it was in the middle, I don't know, but we had softball and their series against Texas. Mm-hmm. Women's tennis won a national title. Like, do you feel like that this last month or so of Aggie athletics can be like a springboard and a catalyst for other? Because you guys had everybody coming to your games: football players, basketball players, football coach. Coach Elko was at damn near every game. A bunch of them, yeah. Like the whole department was rallying around like these sports this spring. We had a women's golfer won the national championship. Like, do you feel like kind of the momentum turning in terms of across the board in the department?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I think other people do too. I mean, I've talked to Connor a little bit. I know Henry Coleman really well. Spent a lot of time with him, and the support that those guys show for us, at least to us, it doesn't go unnoticed at all, and that just it makes you love every other sport even more because it's truly there's no like baseball player, football. There really isn't any of that. It truly is like, hey, it's A&M, and we support each other, and we support all sports. And I think that's the beauty of this spring with all the success that a lot of the sports had. Is now it's like now we're all just looking like, hey, let's go to football season. Let's see us win. I mean, truly. So,
how describe Hayden Schott now as a recruiter?
Oh man, as a recruiter of other people.
Yeah, because you're the first one that has come, and obviously
I have to do a lot of recruiting. I know. I feel like that's my side job. I'd say pretty genuine. I don't like to blow smoke, and everything I say, I hope that people believe me about this place because I haven't gaslighted anyone with how much I love this place, and I think it's been pretty organic. So,
how's your parents' reaction to all this?
They're just
and you get because I know how much they loved. They fell in love with this place. Teddy's 100%. Parents, Jackson's parents, all of you guys that came in. But I got to talk to your dad a little bit. I think Billy did as well.
Me and his dad have a lot of commonalities, background.
So what has their reaction been to you? Okay, I'm coming back, Mom and Dad.
I don't know. They just love. I mean, they love me. They're so happy. They also probably selfishly are happy because they spend more time here. I think they're honestly probably more excited for that than me as a son. So they get to come and have more beer bats while I play. So someone cut my dad off.
I saw your dad. I went up to like get a soda or something at in the middle of that third game.
Yeah.
I think at the time it was like 3-1. It was just tense. It was like, gosh, we just have to like break the seal.
Yeah.
And we walked by each other, and we just both were like,
yeah.
You could just see how uptight we both were. Like,
yeah. That's what the parents care just as much as the players. Truly.
Hey, talk about Omaha, because I tried to tell. And by the way, credit every Aggie that came up there. Like, I was just on the soapbox, like, get your butts up here. It's special.
Yeah.
It is, like, to me, and I cover every sport. I've been to Final Fours. I've been to national championships, whatever. There's nothing like Omaha as a fan. But, like, just little things, like the hotel lobby and everybody, like all the fans from every school doing the Jell-O shots at Rocco's and just the whole thing. Even that night I go to dinner with my buddy, and it's like the Schotts, the Burtons, the Montgomerys, and we all had the whole patio to ourselves. It's just like, you're just away from reality, it feels like, for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As a player, what is that like? It just feels like the pinnacle of college athletics.
Yeah, it truly does. I don't know. I mean, like, the hotel stuff is what really got to me just before our games, when that whole hotel's filled with Aggie fans, and they're all genuinely there just to watch you and support you. And even after the games, even after we lost the second game of the final, there were still Aggies in the hotel high-fiving us. I mean, the support that we showed there was honestly way more than I thought I expected, and it made it so dang cool.
Were you more taken aback by, or what are you more taken aback by? The random, 30, 40, 50-year-old married couple or dude that comes up to you and is like, dude, you're Hayden Schott, like this, I'm so happy for your season, like all this kind of stuff? Or is it this the kids and that wear the Hayden Schott jersey and ask you for autographs? Like, what takes you back more to like, man, this is really pretty cool what I'm doing here?
Oh, man, I mean, both, truly. But I really love the stories of the people that maybe didn't get to come watch a game and always have dreamt of coming to Omaha and coming to watch the Aggies play here. Those are the stories that really kill me, when they're just like, yeah, I've been an Aggie fan forever, and I've never been able to make it out here and watch you guys play. Like, I really do believe that they've been waiting to do that for a long time. And so to have those type of people there that have waited so long for us to be in that position, that almost makes it all worth it, because you're just like, I mean, you probably made their year, and that's what makes it so cool to us, because we're not blind to the fact that some people appreciate us like that, and we try to appreciate that. So it was amazing seeing all the different types of fans, for sure.
You got anything else for me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hayden?
My two best friends, baby.
I didn't know that.
Fellow Columbia Blue Hens.
Blue Hens?
Blue Hens.
That's Delaware.
Dude, we're the best mascot in sports, the Lions. Come on.
There's nobody else that's the Lions.
Okay, come on, man. Let me have this moment.
I do like the Columbia Lions. It has a
good ring to it.
It's very
baby blue.
It's
very
regal.
Sharp. Yeah, very
it's regal.
100%.
Yeah.
Very regal.
All right, dude. Thanks for coming in. I guess we'll be doing a lot more of these.
Yeah.
Wish you nothing but success with your surgery and all that kind of deal. And we're looking forward to seeing what this thing looks like under Mike Early. For Billy Lucci, I'm Ryan Bronger. That's Hayden Schott. Thanks for tuning in to Texas Aggies United on TexAgs.
This interview is sponsored by the 12th Man Foundation. The 12th Man Foundation is the official source for Texas A&M athletics tickets.